Our Free and Equal segment tonight, a huge victory for unborn babies and free speech in California. A judge smacked down an outrageous law in California that forced pro-life crisis pregnancy centers to offer abortions to their patients, even if abortions violated their religious beliefs or the core mission of their pregnancy center. Essentially, the law mandated coerced speech, and pro-lifers were being forced to serve as marketing agencies for the pro-abortion lobby. But not anymore, thanks to a judge in California who, in no uncertain terms, said the law was not legal. Though at the time it was signed into law, Governor Jerry Brown didn't seem worried about its constitutionality. Take a listen.
Now more than ever, we need Governor Brown to stand up for women. Signing the Reproductive Fact Act will ensure Californians have complete and accurate information about the reproductive health care services available to them.
At the end of the day, the right of each woman to decide for herself what her future is. That's something so fundamental to the concept of liberty.
Governor Brown, protect women's health. Sign the Reproductive Fact Act.
With me now, staff counsel with Americans United for Life, Deanna Wallace. Deanna, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Deanna, I hate the name of this law, this former law, so much, the Reproductive Fact Act. The only fact about abortion that they seem to leave out is that abortion ends the living life of an unborn child, a human being. But talk to me about what this act encompassed and what, I guess, legal precedent it was built on. What is this?
So this is one of the many state laws and ordinances we were seeing across the nation where the abortion industry is helping itself by mandating that clinics that are pro-life and there to help women choose life then have to carry their abortion message for them and tell them that they can go get an abortion elsewhere. In California's case, it also let these women know who are at a vulnerable moment that they can get that abortion for free at taxpayer expense.
Right, free, putting that in quotation marks, free, meaning those of us who pay taxes in California, we were the ones funding that. So let me get this straight. This law required pro-life pregnancy centers whose entire premise is based off of the fact that they're trying to counsel women away from abortion, trying to give women strength to carry their pregnancy, give them other options, give them the help they need to keep the baby, or an adoption referral if that's best for themselves, their families, and the baby. They were being forced to offer, in the midst of this, offer a free abortion to the woman, even though that's against their religious beliefs?
Exactly. Not only are they pushing for the funding of these pregnancies or these abortions in the first place, but now they want pro-life groups to have to tell these women that they should go get an abortion and basically provide a referral for the abortion by giving them the clinic's number or the number for the hotline that will give them a referral.
Right, which is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that a bill like this was actually signed into law in the first place is a ridiculous commentary on how far we've come from adhering to our Constitution, because it seems to me this is a violation of not only free speech and religious liberty, but it takes it even a step further than just violating free speech by forcing someone to say something when they don't want to. That's actually coerced speech.
Absolutely, and that's just what the California state judge said, that this is compelled speech. And I think the most interesting part of her ruling was that while the abortion industry and their advocates on the California legislature tried to frame this as an educational bill, the fact of the matter is that California has done basically nothing to actually educate women on the availability of abortion. And so this really wasn't an educational bill. This was a directly targeted bill at these pro-life clinics.
No, this is not an educational bill. I mean, if they wanted to educate women about abortion, then they should have included the increased risk of cancer to women who have abortions, the increased risk of mental health issues, including depression and suicidal thoughts, the increased risk of infertility and miscarriages going forward, exactly what the abortion procedure does to the unborn baby and how it's carried out. This bill included none of that. Thank goodness for Judge Gloria Trask. She's the woman who overturned this with a scathing ruling, really. She said just because the state has the authority to provide these abortion services does not mean it has a right to conscript its citizens into advertising those services. And Deanna, it takes it one step further, and I want you to explain this to me. This ruling also bars the Attorney General of the state from enforcing this law against specific pro-life crisis pregnancy centers who brought this lawsuit to be in the beginning.
Yes. So what Judge Task has done is to place an injunction against this law, and so it cannot be used against the pregnancy center at issue here, which is great for them, so that they can actually continue their mission of counseling these women at a vulnerable place and helping them to choose life and be empowered to choose life.
Right, and tell me what this means too. Do you expect this to get to the Supreme Court? Because I don't think the state of California, I certainly don't think the abortion lobby is going to let this go.
I think you're right. We do expect for it to get to the Supreme Court at some point. There are cases pending in other circuits. There's the NIFLA case in California that is a companion case, I would say, to this one. There are similar cases in Illinois as well as in Maryland. So we know that these are happening all across the nation. And so we have to be really careful that we're paying attention on the state level to making sure that states aren't preventing our amazing pregnancy care centers from doing their mission. But we do expect for those cases to continue, and we look forward to helping them at the Supreme Court.
Right, it'll be interesting to see whether the Supreme Court takes up cases like this or whether they decline to do so. In the meantime, this is one of the only places you're going to hear about this story because the mainstream media certainly doesn't want to talk about this. They don't want you to know that a pro-abortion bill, one of the ways the pro-abortion lobby is trying to push to restrict the rights of pro-lifers and their free speech, that has been defeated. But it has been defeated, and what a victory it is for unborn babies in the state of California. Deanna, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.